In the amateur radio justice system, the hams are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The Ham Court, which investigates offenses done to other hams, and the YouTube ham community, who prosecute these offenders. These are their stories.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Live Free and Ham live stream. How's everybody doing tonight?
It sounds like court's in session.
It is, my friend. We have instigated and initiated Ham Court for some very important things tonight, but I'm looking forward to pleading our case, and we've come prepared, and we're ready, to bring all the facts to light for, what we feel is an offense that has been, done against a brother in the ham radio community. So, we're ready to gear up for that. But, oh man, I'm getting all fired up being a lawyer. I'm not even a lawyer myself. So anyway, as I continue, there we go. We're just ramping up here tonight. So like I said, I'm Eric, your lead prosecutor, and we're part of the crack legal team that we are building a case, man. We're building a case for tonight and assembling everybody and Ham Court because we want to bring it into session. And as we said, we feel like there's some offenses out there that need to be corrected. So, we're hoping through, our jury and judge and, our peers, we come out on top. But, hey, we'll let you guys decide. So, I guess from that standpoint, we should kind of get into a little bit of that, but, we'll plead our case as we kind of go down the line here because we got to still be somewhat official, I think. But yeah, who are we talking? We're Live Free and Ham guys, right? There's nothing official.
Well, it wouldn't be a Live Free and Ham without, what was in your ham radio week and something extra with Todd. Everything else is kind of, fluff.
Secondary. Yeah, exactly. It's all fluff. which we all know we'll get to in a second or two, but something's got to pay the bills and keep us the lights on. So we'll get into that a little bit, but it's kind of funny because like some of you may obviously have been, caught the thumbnail and been like, hey, I wonder what they're getting into. And so we kind of feel as the collective, we as Live Free and Ham community, we're deeply saddened. There's been some real tough infractions against, fellow ham and, brother in the Hammily here who, has, basically kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like there's been some really strong, deep wedges. And every time it's been brought to light with this certain individual, and we'll call that certain individual the plaintiff tonight, he's kind of decided that I think that merit and performance-based ideas are way better than, ever just accepting them of them being a general or a technician or even an extra, and give them all a fair shake. And so as us, the Live Free and Ham corporate, we're big DEI initiatives. And, obviously with our DEI initiatives, we've got our parachute Jesus. He is our number one success story. That's just the way it goes, So with that, we treat Randy and others like that in the same way. We all want everybody to understand that, everybody's got a stake at the table here to play and enjoy ham radio at their own pace and what they like to do without any, shame or condemnation. So yeah, we're going to get into addressing that a little bit more, and we're going to put our case forth. But, before we do that, like I said, we got to get into our usual stuff that keeps the lights on here. So let's kind of dive into that a little bit. We got anybody in the chat we want to say hello to, Paul? I mean, we've got about 15 so far going, but it's pretty chatty there. Anybody want to bring to attention before we get into our usual?
Pro Buzzard, what's up? Chris Berker, what's up? Chris Radio Life, what's up? Smoke Signals, Don Izzo, what's up? Everybody else that's in there. I thought I saw Joe Brett in there as well.
All right, nice, cool, good to see everybody there. So, all right, well, let's dive into our usuals here, because I'm sure everybody's waiting for this before our numbers start to drop off again. As always, everybody head on over to our storefront at livefreeandham.com/shop. We've got all of our great merch over there, but we always have our wonderful whiskey drams. I have not filled mine up here, and I should just put this in front of my face so you can see it. Paul's got his fully, stocked to the brim there, and you can pick a bunch of those up. Makes it easier to see. That it does. And it also makes it easier to drink out of too, So, they've been selling fast. And so we've got a few left. So if you haven't gotten off your duckus to go head over there, pick one up, definitely go head over there before we run out. And our last one, as we see Paul balancing ever so delicately on his microphone over there, you got to get hammed. Now, if you don't know what that is, head on over to gethammed.com. You can find out more there. But basically, it's the same premise with the idea that, hey, we're hams. We all love our antennas. I've been by cars that have 10 ham sticks and different multi-configurations and whip antennas that, span the globe. But we all are like, man, I'd love to be able to let that guy know or that girl know that, hey, they've got a cool setup. Well, now you can do that. You can pick up your small little hamlets, fill out your call sign on the bottom there, like Paul's got here, and you can drop that anywhere on the dash, on the door handle, on top of the roof, wherever. And the nice part about it is they're pigs and they're pink. So they are easy to be caught by the eye. And the nice part about it is that I've done it myself and I love watching it because I kind of drop them on the car and then I'll sit in my truck off to a distance and I'll watch the whole thing kind of transpire. And it's kind of funny because it's they have no idea what to do with it, but they look at it, they think it was pretty cool. And then, lo and behold, it becomes this little, pig that sits up on their dash. And I've actually seen a couple of cars so far that have two of them that I've hit up a couple of times. So, you can be part of that whole fun, kind of grassroots thing there. You can head over to getham.com, pick your own pigs up. As we have had a bunch of people already put in a couple of large orders. So, looking forward to seeing some of that feedback. So if you've got them already, take pictures, post them up on social media. We'd love to be able to see those pigs in action and, see how cool, it is to celebrate ham radio and folks, setups in their cars. So with that, that kind of wraps up the portion of paying the bills there. But, we're going to get into one of our usual segments that everybody loves and we've gotten mega feedback on, and it's going to be pretty sad when he finally gets his extra because we can't keep testing him for extra at that point. So without any further ado, for those that have been waiting patiently and listening to me drone on, and now a little something extra with Todd, W1STJ. Well, you've heard it here as always. This is where we help our buddy Todd study for his extra class license. Each episode, we always pick 3 questions from that extra class question pool to test his knowledge and hope he gets his upgrade. So, as always, if you want to follow along and you're trying to study for your test, you can always head over to hamstudy.org. It's an awesome resource and it always helps all of us prepare for and is always recommended by 3 out of 4 volunteer examiners. So, hey, if you're looking to study or get your upgrade, Hamstudy.org is a great tool for that stuff, and that's what Todd is using himself, and that's what we use to test with our questions here for something extra. So without any further delay, let's give it over to our VE Quizmaster. Paul, take it away, sir.
Right. Let's get the proper layout. That's not it.
There we go.
There we go.
Back to normal.
All right. Todd, are you excited? We're sub-element number 9. We're getting close to the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot all the other elements.
All right. Well, question number 1 for the evening. What is the purpose of a series capacitor in a gamma match? Is it A, to cancel unwanted inductive reactance? B, to transform the antenna impedance to a higher value? C, to provide DC isolation between the feed line and the antenna? Or D, to provide a rejection notch that prevents the radiation of harmonics?
Our favorite song that Todd's going to need when he actually takes the test.
I'm just going to put it on in the background when I actually take the test.
Can they accommodate things like that? Does the VE team allow that?
Music in the background. All right. Oh, man. I'm going to say A, to cancel unwanted inductive reactance.
I'm going to go with C because I like C.
All right. Todd said A. And A is correct.
Great job.
So your explanation, the PVC insulation that encases the center conductor of a coaxial cable is within the outer tube that provides a series capacitance of some gamma type matching networks. The inductive reactance is canceled by the series capacitance within the matching network, which this will lead to a defined resonance. So your hint, matching network, is the answer. Memory tip, the TV series was canceled by the network. All right.
Which TV series?
All of them.
Plenty of them. All of them. They're all canceled. There we go. The cancel culture is back.
All right, Todd. Question number 2. What is the approximate physical length of an air-insulated parallel conductor transmission line that is electrically a half wavelength long at 14.1 megahertz? Is it A, 7 meters, B, 13.3 meters, C, 10.6 meters, or D, 8.5 meters?
I'm going to go with C, 10.6 meters. Better go with me, Eric. Come on, big guy.
Of course, it's all in meters there, so I've got to do the math. Got to figure out the freedom unit conversion.
Just go with
I don't know.
me.
I'll go with 10.6.
10.6 is correct.
Thanks for the layup, Todd.
I get the assist.
So to explain it, 14.1 is in the 20 meter band. Half a wavelength is approximately 10.63 meters. The velocity factor of air-insulated parallel conductor transmission line is approximately 1. The physical length is nearly the same as the electrical length. So mathematically, 300 divided by 14.1 equals 21.3 meters. 21.3 divided by 2 is 10.65 meters. A silly way to remember, 10 is in the equation and the answer. There you go.
There we go. Simple, easy studied method.
All right, I got to get this one, Eric, or we got to hear the song.
I know, right? Come on, man. Pressure. And this is live too, so you're doing pretty good. No, you're not going to fall
At
apart.
least I didn't get them all wrong like last live show, so
Right.
I don't have to embarrass myself. Get the shame.
All right, Todd. The third and final question of the evening. What impedance does a half wavelength transmission line present to an RF generator when the line is shorted at the far end? Is it A, very low impedance, B, the same as the output impedance of the RF generator, C, the same as the characteristic impedance of the line, or D, very high impedance?
I'm going to go with A. I hope I didn't get it backwards.
I'm going to go D just to be stubborn.
And
don't have to wait till
Buzzard says he's got to get off his butt and work on his upgrade. I'll agree.
Roger.
All right, Todd said A. And A is correct.
Great job!
Wow.
All right.
You know what I was doing right before? You know what I was doing right before we had this? Studying Section 9.
All right. To explain it real quick, think about the question in terms of amplitude profile of a standing wave in a transmission line. At a half wavelength, the end of the transmission line matches the amplitude of the input to the transmission line when a standing wave exists. As such, shorting it will take the energy out of the standing wave and be seen as a short at the generator, which is seen as a low impedance to current flow when voltage is applied. So hint, half height that is shorted is very low. There you go.
Low.
All right. That's a good
And I
one.
went over 3, right? No, I had one layup.
You got one.
I assisted you.
Simple layup.
Either
man.
way, we don't get the song.
Yeah, well, you might as well play it for me just because I like to hear it.
Oh,
Will be available in our store soon. All right. Well, as always, so if you're on the journey to studying for your technician general extra class, or you want to get off your butt and start studying for your upgrade there, well, then, hamstudy.org is an awesome resource for getting your ticket. And as we always say every episode, and even in our live streams, if you recently received your license, or maybe you got upgraded like Randy just did, and we're going to be talking about that in a bit, let us know. We'd like to recognize you on the next episode for your hard work and all the effort you put into it. And you can always send that to us over at livefreeandham@gmail.com, or you could always hit us up on Discord or via our text message or any one of our other methods like our, voice line number, which is a great way to leave us a message. So, all right. Well, with that, let's get into all seriousness, my friends. We Live Free and Ham, I think we've been struggling a little bit. We've been wrestling, we've been petting this issue a little bit, but we decided that we finally figured that, through all of our attempts to get this individual to see the light in a different way, we just needed to take him to Ham Court. So tonight, fellas and folks all online, those that are in our chat, our judge, our juries, we're here to plead our case. We're here to help support Randy. And so let me kind of shape this a little bit so you guys know what's going on if you're new to the scene, or you might have not heard, or, you just came out from underneath the rock. I don't know what your call, well, however you want to look at it. What we've done is, we've heard the cries. A while back, we'll call the said person plaintiff. We are looking to obviously put in a suit to fight against him for, basically slander against our client, in the ways of forcing him to follow a merit and performance-based, structure. And that structure basically is that he wouldn't accept him to be on the show or on any show of, a certain, show we will fail to mention, but only list in the case docket that we wanted he wanted to come on, but his brother would not allow him to come on until he received his extra. And so I felt that it was like a major injustice. It took me a long time to get my extra. We'll say if you added in the years I wasn't a ham, it would be about 20 years. So Randy, I think, has got a lot more less time on the clock there. But we felt as the Live Free and Ham hosts over here that we needed to make sure that Randy was definitely given the opportunity to plead his case, to be able to bring it to the light, and really just talk through some of these issues to get people to understand that Shane might have a different view, but it's not the right view always, and that right view is definitely keeping him from experiencing amazing things like being a host on Ham Radio Clubhouse. I mean, to say that he was going to not allow him to come on the show because he wasn't an extra, to me, is just utter ridiculousness. And so that is just one of many examples that I'm going to cite tonight to prove our case. And we brought on an arsenal of witnesses and other hopefully folks to come in to help support Randy and his support, all with the idea to hopefully turn Shane in a different light, to understand that, no matter what level of technician, what level license you are, that you literally are welcome in this ham community, no matter what. And so with that, I think, before I add and start into this, you guys want to add anything to this whole process, or, bring to light?
All I got to say is I was added to the Ham Radio Clubhouse and I wasn't an extra.
Well, true. Yes, but we accepted you as a general, my friend, and you embrace it.
Yes, I do.
Well, all I got to say is that as one of the VEs in both his general exam and his extra, it truly is a crime against humanity that Shane would judge his brother in this way. So unfair and so hurtful. Justice must be served.
Yeah, I couldn't borrow the ESPCA logo because there's too many copyright. But
Also, Sarah McLaughlin.
The sad music was close enough. So, all right. Well, so with that, I think we're going to bring on our client because we feel he can best describe some of his pain and anguish and struggle in this process, and bring to the table, his case, because we feel it's definitely warranted. And we look to you guys in the chat, you guys out there in the YouTube space to help rule in the right side of the law when it comes to ham court. So without further ado, let's bring Randy in here and say hello to Randy. How's it going, Randy?
Hey, guys, doing good.
Well, welcome, and thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come, to hang out with us and just, obviously razz Shane a little bit in this whole process because it is, ham court after all. But either way, I'll leave the floor to you. Where is your heart right now? How are you dealing with all this pain and anguish?
I mean, it's been mostly a challenge, really, just to get my extra, just so I can, hang out with him on the show. But I mean, hearing that he wouldn't even give me a kidney without getting my extra, I know that was kind of rough.
Wow. Oh my. Oh, I did forget about that. Yes, we'll have to add that to the overall plea there. Won't even donate body parts. Man, that's horrible. So talk to us a little bit. So obviously, there's obviously a different age difference there, but in essence, Shane, I assume, had his ticket a little bit before you got yours. Is that kind of how? What's the backstory to that kind of process?
So
and maybe
he had his tech back in like 2006, I think. Upgraded 7 years ago, somewhere in there. He took me out to Dakota once. And then apparently he sold the radio right after. So I think that was after he dropped it. But,
Yep.
But yeah, I've been trying to do radio stuff ever since, but he doesn't have a radio to take me out or anything. And yeah.
Well, not only do I own that radio, but I will let you use it. And when the judge comes forward, I have a motion that you should be an honorary host of Live Free and Ham, because
100%.
We are all inclusive here. I mean, look, I'm on the show and I'm a freaking retard.
And I'm a general, and they let me on the show.
And heck, they give me the hosting privileges, so that doesn't really mean a whole lot anyway. So just the backstory. Obviously, you know he started in the hobby. Did you just kind of follow suit because he took you out to a POTA, or was it something that you saw him doing that you thought you wanted to do?
Yeah, so we started doing storm chasing back in the day.
Okay.
And that kind of got us. I kind of wanted to be able to communicate with other chasers, monitor the NOAA channels if we're no cell coverage. I eventually got my first Baofeng. Basically the basic starter for all hams, it seems like.
Did Shane make you buy that yourself, or did he help?
He suggested it, but yeah, I definitely had to purchase that myself.
Yeah, he's given away more radios, better radios than that. Just his viewers. I can't believe he made you buy your first Baofeng.
Oh,
he probably has a whole back. He probably has a whole closet full of them in his, just sitting there in a bin.
Yes.
He probably didn't want to pay the shipping, right?
If minimum, yeah. So okay, all right. So you kind of started in technician storm chasing, and then you got a little further into the hobby there. And so, did he entice you to come to a POTA, or did you ask him? How did that process work for you? Was it more like you had to prod him forward to get him to take you out, or did he just encourage you to go with him?
So yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing until he actually took me out for the first time. So it was a whole new experience. I really enjoyed it. We didn't have a big pile up to work or anything, but it was interesting just having to process call signs, log them, just do the whole thing, and that really got me into it.
So did he let you touch the mic at all? Like, did you just have to sit there and log?
I got to work under his call sign.
So, okay, so he didn't even take you on the 10-meter band. He didn't even let you get and make your own contacts.
Honestly, I didn't even know what bands we were on. Actually, that was
man,
so
he kept all that hidden. Oh, my gosh, that's sad. If he wouldn't even allow you to get that further down the with your own privileges and whatnot, it's a
just get your contact on 10 meters. That would have been nice of him.
So. All right, so continue on. So you obviously got to technician for a little while, and you started getting into the hobby. What anything else along the way? Did Shane kind of try to Elmer you a bit at all, or he just kind of keep you at arm's length a bit?
So I mean, he's been kind of ragging me to get my tech for a while. I got my GMRS license back in October, and that was just for communicating with friends around town, people at races that I work for F1. But eventually I just like, what? I feel like I want to get some HF. So then I went ahead and got my technician's license. And then we went out for me and David, I think he's in chat. We went up to Missouri for a trip, and we're coming back and said, hey, let's stop at a park. We'll do some POTA. And it was quickly decided that, the little sliver of 10 meters just was not enough.
Okay.
So upgraded general and got a lot more use of the bands there. So, and then
did he leave you out in the cold though? I mean, obviously you didn't have a radio, so you obviously had to go find your own HF equipment and stuff like that, or what did that look like?
David's actually been helping out. He got a radio, and I've been kind of working on his stuff when he's over and we're out doing stuff. So,
wow,
but
okay.
I should have a radio this Friday. So.
Oh, okay. And any involvement in Shane's help with that at all, or was it mostly just your decision, making process with help of Dave? Or okay,
yeah, not a whole lot of help from Shane on that one.
And okay, so it seems that obviously, we've had many cases where Shane has not stepped up to be a great brother and helping you.
He's definitely not on the list of brother of the year. That's for sure.
No, yeah, he struggled for that title. I found it very sad, but at the same time, I understand, in desperation, there's one instance that I think has very much been brought to Shane's attention several times where, he has left his own brother out in the cold in terms of helping him try to acquire radios and stuff, that you reached out to another fellow ham literally in, other part of Texas. And he welcomed you wholeheartedly, even considered you one of his own brothers. What was that experience for you? I mean, in comparison to, having nothing come back from, your own brother with, a little bit of help there.
Well, the first night that I got my technician from the stream on the clubhouse, Mike was even offering me to send me a radio, battery, whatever I needed. So
wow,
I got so much support from him, and nothing from the other side of the room here. So I mean, but yeah.
Oof. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I am. It's just all of the facts are just starting to build up here, guys. I mean, this is going to be a slam dunk case, I think.
All right. Well, so now that the case has been made, should we bring the judge into the room?
Yeah, so we have invited many others here, and so there's definitely kind of a mixed bag here of folks. We've got some support folks that we brought in to help bring Randy into the fold and show him that we all care no matter what level license he's at. But then there's a few here that obviously have come to support the plaintiff, we'll say. So we're going to bring that person in here and see what he has to say for other reasons here. So we bring in Izzo here, and we all know Izzo personally, but the court recognizes Izzo. How do you plead your case for said Shane here? Because you obviously have known him the longest.
I guarantee you.
All right, if you guys remember Colonel Potter from the show MASH, I'm calling horse hockey bullshit right out.
Wow.
I have been in the hallway of the courthouse, and I have been pacing up and down. Hang on, I need to check my blood pressure. Hang on, let me check my smartwatch. Oh my God, look at this. It's reading the bullshit monitor level here.
He's fired up, my friends.
I have got questions. To defend my friend and my client, Shane. I have questions.
All right, well, then if you've got plenty of questions, allow yourself to elaborate at least on one of those questions, because I'm sure our chat is all ears to hearing why we should defend such a person who's been so hurtful.
Well, Randy, on behalf of my client who has not paid me, okay, yes, he did send me some cigars for a radio that was offered to you. Am I right? But you declined the radio. Is that a correct statement?
That is not.
I'm not done yet. But who paid? For those cigars? Did you buy those cigars?
I did not.
You did not. Why did you buy those cigars? You can't handle the truth, and I'm not even done yet. Why did you not buy those cigars?
I had no idea about the deal, Lizzo. I mean, hell, I had 2 boxes.
You had no idea of a deal. Wait. Shane is your brother, correct? I want to make sure we're talking about you share some blood somewhere in that DNA, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it DNA in the blood? I forget what it is. It doesn't make a difference. This is not about biology, folks.
Are you submitting that as evidence or something?
Yes. I'm waiting for Quest Diagnostics blood tests to be coming back to ensure that these two are even brothers.
Well,
but it doesn't
sir,
make a difference.
I am going to have to put a stop to you right now, because in essence we have to bring in another critical support.
Oh, you bring him in. I got questions. I still got more.
Steve, you have hopefully come prepared with enough support for poor Randy here as Izzo tries to drag him through his name through the mud.
Look at that hat.
So
he knows
I had to rock the hat
and the shirt. Oh my gosh, he is in full uniform.
Full uniform, I guess.
If you notice, I am not wearing my hat
proud.
on my T-shirt tonight. Have you noticed I am not wearing?
You are out of order, sir.
All right, I'll wait my turn.
Shane, welcome. Sorry, Steve, welcome. Sorry.
Hey now. I always stuck up for Randy. I said it didn't matter. He tested with Glorg from the get-go. No, it wasn't a clubhouse session, but he didn't reach out to me for a clubhouse session.
Mm-hmm.
But I blame that on Shane.
Fine. But he did pass, right? He did pass.
He did pass. Yep.
Okay. So it really doesn't matter who tests him per se, as long as he is successful in the nature of reaching his goal, which we all want to celebrate here. And first and foremost, as I bring as evidence, part number one here, he did pass his extra successfully, and yet our, lovely Shane did not recognize it whatsoever for weeks, as far as I understand, from the point from when, Randy got his, official notice that he had upgraded. Is that not true?
Well, we're going on week 2, but to to defend my brother Shane, he wasn't on the show last week to announce it.
True. But by whose fault?
He was crying about something about he was being sick or something. I don't know.
Did you see my 3,000 subscriber giveaway? I was near death, and I still showed up for my own 3,000 subscriber giveaway. What's his complaint?
Yeah, I think he spent more time in the balloon than he is on radio. So.
Boys head in the clouds.
No, I have to ask. No, wait a minute now. Brother Steve, you seem to have made a very legible point, if that's the word legible.
Okay.
But haven't we all been sick? There have been times when I have been sick. Am I correct?
Yep. Oh,
you have been sick. Wait. I'm not. You have been sick, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Paul, when was the last time you got sick?
I don't know.
Yes,
wait. Paul's sick right now.
You got sick right now from hearing all this just horse hockey.
No, I've seen the stuff he posted in Clubhouse.
Everybody here has been sick at one point or another, and that's my point. That is the point we all have. We all get sick.
The truth.
So
you can't handle it.
What about the week before that? Was Shane on then?
Yes, he was.
But why didn't he announce it?
Oh, wait a minute.
Because Randy hadn't passed yet.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
And wasn't Shane there? Now, Steve, you were part of, according to your testimony, you state that is it Glarg handled this session. Who was there for VEs?
Oh, I would have to pull it up, but I'm on the phone that I could pull it up on. I was there. No.
Most importantly, was Shane there?
So, technically, Shane was not there.
However, what?
Shane was in my main room to be there for anybody that showed up.
Oh, wait a minute! And who was there? Who was there? Who showed up? Randy.
Carlos. Carlos.
It doesn't matter. He could have been there for. He could have been there for Randy. He could have been for anybody. My point, Your Honor, is he was supporting his brother Randy as well as everybody else equally, because that's what we do.
For legality reasons, Shane was not there. Part 97, Shane was not allowed to be part of the session because Randy is his brother.
So this part of the testimony has to be thrown out immediately. It was there
time out for a second. Just so you guys know, that question is actually on the extra exam.
You better get that one right.
Don't ask him how he knows.
Well, he's still a general, so he's still studying for a second. Yeah. And I'm waiting for that phone call and when you're ready to take it. So
we're getting there.
I dismissed this question totally from any further discussion, Your Honor, and I suggest that we move on because I have pertinent information to show that Randy is an excellent individual, and that is not what we are contesting. We are not contesting Randy and for their love of the family who dropped the radio, but to show that Shane is supporting his brother.
I want to say there's more harassment than support in that session.
Yes, I would say
it was. No, that is subjective to your comprehension and to your opinion. There's 6 of us here. Okay, we all have an opinion. Wait, we all have an opinion. Will Todd pass his extra? We all have an opinion.
Not now.
I cite the fact that I submitted the case purely on the fact that it was a basically merit and performance based approach, and in Shane's mind, it was Randy was not able to meet or even get to the level in Shane's mind of being an extra, and that he would never ever be able to achieve that bar. So therefore, he always would look down on Randy, and that is not how we treat each other in the ham community.
However,
we should be lifting our brothers up.
Okay, you make a valid point, but I'm going to go a little bit higher. See, you're here, and I'm okay. See, I've been watching Suits.
You're still visually below me, but yeah.
No. I've been watching Suits on Netflix.
Hey, you're a little late to the party. That's like what, 10 years old?
I know, but it doesn't make a difference.
Still a good show.
Todd, I haven't gotten my extra yet either. Todd, like you, I'm a general, but it doesn't make a difference. So what if we're late to the party? The point is that we're good people, correct, Todd?
Correct.
All right, thank you. I want you to acknowledge that he said that I am correct. So that that
He said
people,
get a little big there, Todd.
so here we are. So I want to tackle one of the things, and N2MAK. I think I've.
Oh, he got his wish. His mic went dead. How did Mike do that? My gosh, he's amazing.
Okay,
where'd your mic go? There you go. Now you're good.
A statement was made about the GMRS license.
Mhm.
Randy, I have to ask you, how do you...
And the mic goes out again.
I love it. We got to strike that from the record.
Those are you who are playing with the microphone in the master settings.
Not I. I'm
I don't have it. I'm just a
I
general.
don't want to hear.
I don't
want to hear about
ability.
technical
I'm just a
difficulties.
guest.
Because if that occurs one more time, then this whole thing will be a complete mistrial, and there will be no winners.
There are plenty of other evidence that we can bring to the table that we
And
still
I
have to
have it
work
right
through.
here. I've been taking notes. Because I have that short-term memory loss. Can't remember whatever it is, Cialis,
CRS,
or whatever.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
It's not Cialis. Trust me. It's definitely not Cialis.
No.
Okay, so listen.
It was
mentioned
CRS, but we
earlier-
can't say what it is on this show.
Oh, yeah, we can. We're past the 30-minute mark.
Okay.
So it was mentioned earlier. So Randy, I want to ask you, how did you learn about GMRS? Did Shane ever mention the words to you about not ham radio communications, about this other radio service called GMRS? At any time, did he talk to you about this?
Prior to me getting my license, that would be a no.
It has nothing to do with prior to or after, but he has talked to you about GMRS, correct?
A little bit.
No.
And how does that
but
factor in?
Little, no, wait a minute. A little is subjective again. Once again, it's subjective. Whether it's
technically
5
again.
words or it's still that.
Is GMRS killing ham radio?
Me, I don't know.
Well, then get to your point, sir.
My point is this: as I move along, Randy
Hey, there he
mentioned.
is.
Randy mentions, "Hey Shane, I got you, man. I got you." Okay, because guess what? Because just remember, and I pointed out Shane earlier. Okay, and I will get further detail that Randy did not buy or purchase cigars for the sale of a radio. Okay. We're just going to remember that as we come around the clock, okay? So, Randy, you mentioned that you and Shane, how many times did you and Shane go out for Parks on the Air, POTA, commonly known as POTA? Once.
I think he only said one, sir.
Okay, and that's okay because and Randy, would you consider yourself a smart individual?
Absolutely.
There you go. So one time is maybe all he really needs.
Wow.
Okay. But that's okay because 2 is great, 3 is even better, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. But Randy, at any time during that POTA, Randy, at any time when the time you guys got together in said vehicle, got to the park, returned, at any time, did you ever ask my client, can you please explain these different things called the ham bands? Did you ever ask him any of that question?
Nope, never came
Why
up.
not? But why not? You were because at that time you were not a ham radio operator.
I say
correct?
fear. I say fear in the
Let-
fact that he's
let the
scared of his
man
own
answer.
brother asking
Do
a
not put
simple
words-
question.
Your Honor, the man who thinks he's above me is putting
I am,
words
but
into
yes.
Randy's mouth.
He is above you.
Well, so Don, I'm contact.
You're cutting out there, Steve.
We got to strike. We got to strike it right there. All of Steve's just comments are he is not legible. It cannot be. The court stenographer cannot comprehend what is happening here.
All right, good, Steve.
All right, I'll run. My phone's overheating, so
Oh, great.
I'll catch you guys tomorrow.
I see. So I have to point out to the court and to everybody here currently, obviously Shane is in the chat, and Shane, hopefully you're getting him Izzo pro bono, because if you're paying him money, you're really, you're not getting your money's worth. That's all I have to say.
Oh, he will. Wait, I'm not done yet. I am not done yet. Let me tell you, I am the Johnny Cochran right now.
He's dead, isn't he?
or Matlock.
Matlock.
Well, if we're gonna put it in the right time frame.
I am the
See you later,
Perry
Steve.
Mason, the Andy Griffin. Was it Andy Griffin a lawyer? What did Andy Griffin play?
He was a sheriff.
No, but he played as a lawyer. He played in a lawyer show towards the end. He always had that white or that blue suit jacket. Anyway, that's besides the point. Randy,
There's a lot of beside the points here.
Randy,
you ever get to a point?
Yes, the point is this, Randy. At any time, did you say, Shane, can you please explain something to me about ham bands? Because the comment was made that he didn't allow you to get on the 10-meter band for you to participate on. But he was still being what was called what, Todd? The control. Hey, Todd, question. What does a control operator do, Todd?
You
controls the radio.
Are out of order, sir.
Exactly.
But he allows a non-ham participant to operate under the license of the control operator.
However, I cite the fact that he did have his technician license when he did go do this POTA, correct, Randy?
Shane did. I did not. Yes.
Oh, okay. My mistake. I retract that.
So,
okay.
That's right. Many more mistakes.
Shane only had his technician license and he was out doing POTA.
Burn him! Burn him!
You're not talking about me. The only thing burning right now is a damn good cigar, the Inch from EP Gorilla.
So wait, let's circle back on that question there, Todd. So you were saying that at the time when you guys did a POTA, Shane was also said technician, or was he general?
I'm not sure if he had upgraded general.
Oh, you don't even know. But this is your brother.
It was so long ago.
It was so long ago. What did I have for dinner 3 nights ago? I don't remember. It was so long ago. I totally agree.
A GMSR ninja. What does that constitute there? Said Shane. I'm not familiar with that terminology. Does he go around in the middle of the night in the black outfit talking on the radio, or what?
Only on channel 14.
Exactly. Right.
Only on 7, not 200.
I could only imagine.
Right. So another comment was made. Oh wait a minute, I may have to mute my microphone because the police are coming in to arrest this I forget the adjective. Anyway, there was a comment made about a VHF UHF portable not being provided to you. Is that correct?
No.
Tonight?
I gotta say,
earlier, I was
Shane made him buy his first Baofeng. Like he doesn't have a bunch of them in his.
Were you there, Todd? Todd, were you there in the home or part of the?
I'm just.
Were you?
The facts
home?
Randy had to buy his first Baofeng. Now,
No.
You're telling me Shane doesn't have a spare Baofeng laying around the house that he could have sent to his brother?
Your Honor, the man up there in the corner recognizes Whiskey 1 Sierra Tango Juliet Todd was not truly part of that conversation between Shane and Randy. So how could his statements be considered accurate in this court?
Because based on attorney-client privilege, that's the information Randy has shared with us, and therefore we are sharing with you.
I would like
see that paperwork.
I would like to present into evidence the footage of the 2,000 subscriber giveaway that I did on my channel, where I gave away a Baofeng just out of the graciousness of my heart to a brand new technician that was in the chat for the very first time. We had never had any knowledge of one another prior to that evening, nor was he my brother. And I sent him a free Baofeng to say congratulations for getting your technician.
That is very honorable and very sweet. And now I'm going to go watch a Shirley Temple movie.
Oh.
Okay. Now, however, though, I bet you guys don't know. Okay. You talk about your goodwill. Let me explain a goodwill of a guy I know in Connecticut who had keywords had an ICOM 706. He cleaned it all up, even though it was already clean, but he just wanted to make sure, ran it up a few times, making sure it was working, because he was getting ready to send it to Texas. Randy, do you live in Texas?
I do.
Yes, he does. And
did you send that radio to Randy?
No, because it was all getting ready to, as well as, no, hold on, Mr. Eric N1J, there's more. And
there will be a point.
It was going to. The point is this: it was going to be a surprise for Randy, at least initially, what I thought. And the sale of that was such a screaming deal. We didn't sell it for 900, a used radio for 900, 800, 700, 600, not even 500, not even 400, and not even 300. Okay. Okay. It was for a box of cigars that were, great cigars, but not overly priced. Okay. And on top of it, the seller of this radio spent a tremendous amount of money in shipping and packaging to ensure it arrived in Texas in one shape, not like it had fallen off a tailgate, in another episode that we're not going to discuss right now.
It sounds like this is just a civil case. It's just outside of this family adoption case that we're trying to discuss here this evening. Because, based off of what Shane has posted, he's wondering why the thumbnail looks like a custody battle. Because in essence, you've left your brother out in the cold there, my friend. You refuse to welcome him into the hobby. And therefore, the Live Free and Ham community has embraced him.
Objection. Horse hockey. Per Colonel Potter. Horse hockey. Randy, do you and Shane celebrate various events throughout the year? Holidays, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, Christmases, whatever?
Yeah.
See, even the dogs are getting riled up.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Randy, wait. Randy is a dog owner and a dog lover, just like his brother Shane. Dog owner, dog lover. And Randy, I'll bet you take wonderful care of your animals.
I heard he
just
preferred
like
cats.
your brother.
What does that have to do with Randy? And
it shows a bond that they have, Todd. Todd, go back to studying.
Todd, care for animals.
Todd, go back to studying Element
but
8.
What does the dogs have to do with ham radio and him not being allowed to be on Clubhouse until he gets his extra? And then he gets his extra, and he doesn't even let anyone know that his brother earned his extra.
It's all
pedantic bantering. Right, the motion on the floor to the judge and jury in the chat is for Randy to become an honorary host of Live Free and Ham because we accept him here.
So before we allow that motion to hit the floor there, we have additional support that has come to Randy's aid here, and we're going to bring the said individual in to hopefully shed some amazing truths to your defense that's full of holes.
You hope he's here at Randy's defense.
The only thing that is full of holes is Swiss
I did pay him appropriately, but
his good cheese from New Hampshire. That's the only thing that is full of holes here, and I like New Hampshire cheese. Let that be on the record.
Joe, welcome, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
First, I want to say thank you for the payment, but I spent it on a bright green today instead of.
You didn't wear the official Live Free and Ham uniform like Steve did?
No, I'm sorry. Hat stays in the car with me for when I really need it. It comes in handy.
Excellent. Well, good to hear.
All right, 5 demerits for being out of uniform.
All right. Gets them out of a traffic ticket is what it does.
Oh, they think I'm working traffic.
You could be. So in Randy's defense, you come supporting Randy or you come supporting the plaintiff?
I come to support a family. Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I am not the honor. That is to my right or left, depending on which side of the screen you're on.
Okay.
The man with the gavel.
Yes. He comes prepared, man. He's got prop budget.
Since my travel time from the living room and my absence of getting the show started again here, it appears we transitioned very quickly to a family court. So it's a perfect time for me to talk about family. And, families usually have their little quarrels here and there.
Agreed. But
there's always that, well, not always, but sometimes there's still that love knot, that just never lets go. Okay. And I can't help but think the whole time I'm hearing all these arguments, which, I see some valid points on either side, but I'm thinking, Randy, have you won any prizes from the clubhouse?
Yeah, there was that one that.
Don't answer that question, sir. You don't need to answer that question.
Yes.
I strike that from the record.
This is all about honesty, and on the stenographers, a list there. What did he say? I'm sorry, I might have missed it. I was intaking some beautiful smoke. He has one, which means in order to win, he has to participate and be in the chat and do other things. So he is supporting Clubhouse like his brother supports him.
He did. The fair and square without the family element. He did that. But there was a family element to the decision of what he won, because we all said hell no to a $200 6-meter Baofeng antenna. But what did Randy get? Yeah,
I forgot. What did he get? Randy, why don't you tell us what you got? Randy, why don't you tell us what did you choose? No, I'm sorry. What did you choose?
Randy, if it incriminates you, you do not have to share that with the court.
So this
I will plead to the fifth. Then, yep.
Well, I mean, cool. Can you answer it this way? Is that what you really wanted? As Izzo was getting to, was that your choice, or was
absolutely?
Well,
I'm sorry, I did not hear that again, Randy. It was whose choice? Your choice. Your choice to come onto YouTube. Nobody said, stricken you from YouTube, as well as you chose to click the mouse and participate. I bet you're even a subscriber of Ham Radio Clubhouse, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I got to support.
All right. See, this is a big happy
However,
world.
he does support you guys financially, as he stated already. So in essence, he has already been giving of his time, of his financial resources to said Clubhouse, and yet nothing has come back, in the same equal,
Eric, my fellow lawyer, Eric, from across the table there, all six of us participate in so many ham radio channels, whether it is financially, whether it's in the comment section. Matter of fact, I remember a week or so ago, I wrote Paul a very nice comment. Okay. I didn't have to. I wanted to. It comes from the heart. Okay. Nobody makes us do anything. So the word support is this big umbrella, and underneath it are many fractions, but it doesn't make a difference where you are. The point is you are supporting.
Oh, thanks for your support. I think Bob will say that. So look, I don't want to come on here and I don't want to sound biased coming right here at the tail end, the caboose here. I support Randy. Congratulations on your achievements, man.
Absolutely.
Maybe it wasn't Shane that told us. Maybe it was Steve. I don't know. But we were aware backstage anyway that you had accomplished an achievement that you was shamed to get, matter of perspective, but you got it. Weight off your shoulders. But we see a lot of good character out of his brother too,
I would say in order to be able to restore and bring restitution to both my client and to the Ham Radio Clubhouse as a whole, that we come to some agreement to invite, or first and foremost, we should pass the official motion that our judges already brought on the table that we've put a pin in for the few moments here about making him an honorary, host of Live Free and Ham. But I do extend the olive branch too, that, at least two of the official members of the clubhouse would be able to step in to, Randy's space to encourage, another brother to decide, to invite Randy on, to bring him on to the next show or a future show coming soon.
Wait a minute.
Would you not agree?
That has never been the issue here. Wait, Your Honor, that has never been the issue here. Because I have been welcomed on this Northeastern Ham show many times. Matter of fact, support. I have been on here. I have been wanting to be on here on times when I could not be, but you were still in my heart because I had family obligations or work. I have also purchased items from.
You are out of order.
I am not out of order. I have purchased the hams.
Let the record show that you are speaking of the Northeast Ham Radio, and this is Live Free and Ham. This is a completely different.
You, sir, are in the wrong channel.
We are also those guys up north.
Yes, the crazy guys up north who I love. So once again, we are one big ham family, which is really an outcast to say Shane has not or did something that hasn't really even been proven yet.
Well, I would say he has proven.
I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge.
So actually, we've brought out some new facts here to the table. So in essence, this really isn't Shane's fault.
It's Izzo's fault.
Izzo's issue.
And I will be happy to represent myself.
Well, you might want to ask Shane to help. Shane might be able to help in your behalf.
Randy has all. Listen, when we heard that Randy has a brother who is getting his ham radio license.
No, you mean you got it reversed.
You mean Shane has a brother?
Shane has a brother.
Okay, what am I?
Randy, do you have another family member?
No, I did. No, up until most recently, I did not. I only knew Randy as a name. Okay. And then all of a sudden, I heard the man is now going to have time in his life. He has an interest. Do you know how happy that made me feel? That was incredible, because I remember what it felt like when my grandfather took me under his wing in 1972 and 73, from the beginnings of my very young childhood, being 8, 9 years old, not knowing what a capacitor is and how to solder a PL259. The man just kind of did it, and there were I didn't ask. Matter of fact, I didn't get anything from my grandfather until I was 30 something. A Kenwood TS 130.
You bring up a very good point, Randy. Do you feel like you were left out of the choice to decide when Shane decided to pick up your grandfather's, ham radio call? Did you feel like you were left out of that decision as to whether or not you should get it or he should get it?
So I'm pretty. That was the grandfather on the other side.
Thank you. The other side. See, this is what happens when the lawyer across the table does not do his homework. And Randy, I appreciate your honesty.
Going up against you, though, that doesn't require a lot of effort. But anyway, I just planned like 10 minutes ago. No, yeah, I mean, I would think, and maybe my hosts agree here, that in order to make amends, to be able to bring this to the light, to be able to establish a new foundation, to go back to the family decision, where family is priority and a whole, that in order to make amends, that obviously we and Paul is, like I said, raised the issue that I am going to second the motion that we, as from a Live Free and Ham corporate approach, to obviously stay in line with our subsidiaries of Ham Radio ClubHouse there. So eventually you'll have to get the memo passed down, and you'll just continue to further, the orders. Wait, there.
Time out. Do you have bylaws?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you have bylaws. You have written bylaws on file.
Yep. Yeah.
And who takes care of all of your financial transactions? I'm just trying to establish that
nobody from the Ham Radio ClubHouse, that's for sure.
No. Because guess what? Ham Radio ClubHouse has an individual who is assigned on record, who handles all financial transcripts, including any United States of America. Remember that word, America, IRS filings. Does this group have appropriate people in place?
We don't make enough money for that.
Okay. That which
but at the same time, that said individual, I hear, based off of corporate decisions, we've now opened up a case to basically look further deeper into those dealings, just to make sure that they fall in line and they appropriately come into all of the necessary.
I'm hearing a lot of horse hockey, Joe Brett. I don't know about you, but I'm hearing, so Joe Brett, I'm hearing a train that has jumped the track, and you better give me a high visibility anti-2 shirt.
Hey, this is the new world. This is the new world. Corporate America. We're taking all rules and regulations off. This is the wild, wild west, my friend. Bring it on. Yes, we are incorporated in Sealand. We are soon to buy that next. So anyway, let's raise the motion from the Live Free and Ham crew. We officially, go ahead and make the motion there. N1OG, the Grouch.
All right, I motion that the Live Free and Ham community adopt Randy as our new honorary Live Free and Ham host.
Yes, I second it. I pass. It is official, Randy. You have the keys to the kingdom. No, they don't vote.
Wait a minute. Do you guys follow Robert's rules? Wait, do you guys follow Robert's rules?
Who's Robert?
Robert's rules.
Who's
I
Robert?
I am very familiar.
Are you familiar? Then I believe that you cannot make that motion. You can ask for the motion, but you cannot
we are like
make
every other freaking ham radio club when it comes to Robert's rules. It's kind of just a suggestion.
No. Let me clarify, because actually it is written in Robert's rules that if you have a quorum that is less than 12, while it is not customary for the chair to make a motion, in a small group setting, the chair is allowed to make a motion.
And
right, but you guys, but you guys, I agree with Liv, and I support. Oh, that key word again, support you guys. But isn't it just be? I thought you guys were always above board. You guys are incredible. You guys don't need Robert. You don't need rules. You live free. This is about morals and being men and humanity in America.
And
am I correct?
And that's why we're bringing Randy in.
I support that too.
Izzo.
If I don't hear silence, I'm going to...
All right.
Well, as the judge and chair of this meeting, Randy, welcome to Live Free and Ham. You're our newest host.
Awesome. Man.
Yes,
Appreciate
you're always welcome anytime.
David, just remember what happened in that movie, My Cousin Vinny. Danny, just remember what happened at the end in My Cousin Vinny.
These youths.
Listen, hey, Randy, how many fingers am I holding up, Randy?
Before Izzo.
Very good. Very good.
I'm glasses on.
You're
I do just want to point out, if I could, kind of like an off-record thing. Do I need to wait on that?
No, feel free.
Go right ahead.
Or George.
Eat me up the whole show. When I look at Randy Square there, man, I'm like, Randy, do you watch a lot of Tank Radio? I know you watch a lot of Mike, Mailbag Mondays.
Yeah, I've started watching a little bit of Tank. MF0XB over there in the UK.
I wasn't trying to turn this into this whole big discussion, but
do you watch any of the N1JUR channel or the Grouch in New Hampshire?
How about K5YVY? Any of those channels?
If there was something on there for him to watch, but
in 6 to 9 months there will be, Joe. What are you talking about?
So I just want to state that he's got the camera angle of Mike's mailbag, right? Okay, up high camera angle.
He
he's got all the stuff in the background like Tank, and he looks like Shaq and Greg sitting there a little bit. It's like y'all might be cousins a little bit.
The only thing is Satan. He's missing Satan in the background. He's got dogs instead.
Shaq and Greg says it all. I think Shaq and Greg just says it all.
You got the banana sitting on the floor somewhere back there.
Hey, you model the people you love to watch, right?
Oh, that's great, man. So. Yeah. When you starting your channel, Randy?
Yeah, about that.
Well, you're a host now. I mean, you're kind of obligated.
I am.
Actually, he is not
necessarily. Todd doesn't have one.
Todd does not do his channel at all. Like he is like
Me
just
either.
started, and we've 3 years into it.
Yeah, like Izzo said, we got one of those too. So
we all have to. It's just it's a balance of life. Can't all be like type A's, because if you're all type A's, God, the channel will explode. All right.
I'm sorry for getting this friendly. My bad.
No, dude. It's a circle of trust here, my friend. We're all good. No problems. I think Ham Court at this point has been officially closed. Although, we do want to make sure that it's on the docket that, the clubhouse, in essence, passes that olive branch to Randy to allow a host of Live Free and Ham to come on to your, episode either as a guest or, maybe as a co-host or whatever. So just throwing out that suggestion to the powers that be, and maybe they'll make the right decision.
Portos, motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads. They all adore him.
They're all righteous dude.
He's a righteous dude.
And listen. Randy is welcome. Listen, yes, I have been given the guys on the show. My brothers of the clubhouse have kind of nicknamed me the bookmaker, the guest coordinator. Randy, I'm available on QRZ, or you can contact, what's that B word? Your brother and he'll be happy to provide you with my
the
email
hope.
address, my cell phone, my text. We can coordinate a time. You are welcome. You have always been welcome, and you will not be treated any differently. We'll have fun with you. We'll do a fast. We'll do the fast Izzo round with you, and then I'm sure, like the parliamentary things that we just heard earlier, there'll be a motion, and you'll be official member with zero dues. And
I
always
do have a gripe, Izzo. I have a gripe. I've noticed
what is your gripe, my friend?
Few episodes, and I feel like as a Live Free and Ham host being on your show, we've been gypped. When we were indoctrinated per se into the Ham Radio Clubhouse, we were asked the 3-question, whatever you call it, delivered, I don't know, whatever you want to use for the word. In essence, I felt like you have now improved that questionnaire list of, questions to bypass the gatekeeper to get into Ham Radio Clubhouse. So I feel
fast questions.
Yes. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
fast questions was a fun thing that I just happened to say one night, and then it just continued because the audience loved it.
And you have added to it. You have definitely like Mike was talking about chowder. Come on, that was never asked of us. I feel left out.
No, you haven't. No, I thought we went through fast rounds with you.
We did, but we were only asked 3 questions. Paul wasn't on at that time, but
Paul was on.
We were asked what our favorite bands were.
I was asked
steak,
0
steak
questions.
and fish. Actually, right. Yeah, true. We got a lot of issues we got to work through.
Listen, just because the statement was made doesn't mean it's true, but we're going to have our people contact your people, and they're going to go through the archives. Matter of fact, Todd hasn't even been on the show. You want to know why? Because Todd's studying. Todd is studying.
I've been on the show twice.
No, but you haven't been indoctrinated, right?
Yeah, yes. Okay.
You don't
even kept up with it.
Oh boy!
I'm not in charge of record keeping.
Embarrassing failure.
No, I am not a failure. Tommy boy, listen. Yo, Tommy boy, listen. My job is not to keep records. That's not my job.
That's for sure.
We had this corporate come in, and we thought, oh, good, they're going to handle all that good stuff, and they just kind of like
choose truth over facts.
Say hi in the chat every now and then.
Well, so if you want, we've taken the reins off for a little while. We kind of let you guys run on your own basis, but now that's a takeover. We might have to do a hostile takeover and really like turn up the screws if that's what you're looking for. If you want structure and uniformity, we'll bring it up.
The only way to get Randy on the clubhouse.
I know, right? Exactly. We might have to put the host on paid leave.
Wait, did we not have a fantastic April 1st joke between a collaboration between our two groups?
And I do have to say, we sold a lot of shirts for that too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, we did. Really? Didn't you guys get your 3 cents?
Yeah, well, that's called support. That's support. Once again, the word support comes in again. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
America. That's all I gotta say.
Roger that. Well. Yeah, we I want to just kind of we give everybody kind of a lot of gruff with these guys. We love hanging out with the Ham Radio Clubhouse crew. They put up with our shenanigans and crap we do a lot all the time. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us because we did this kind of spur of the moment. It was good.
Fun. It's fun to support each. Oh, that word again. Support.
Damn. Fun everything, man.
Oh,
everything's always fun.
Nuggets must have just ended.
For those of you who were learning about how to do a TNC for 5 out of 5 weeks, welcome to the show. And guess what? I'll sum it all up for you. Randy is a friend of Ham Court. There's no ill feelings. These guys didn't improve nothing. It's called horse hockey, and that's all there is to it. But we're all friends, and we can agree to it, and we can all move on. There you go. No. I summed it all up.
Totally. I don't know if Shane's left because he was crying or what, but he was
Todd did Todd did get 3 out of the 3 extra questions. So that was another monumentous thing tonight. Exactly. It was great.
He normally gets 3 out of 3 when we don't do live streams, but his live stream track record was finally broken tonight. Good. I have to say, yeah, you were 1 for 3, 1 for 3. I went back and kind of did a quick review, and I'm like, oh man, he's got to break that habit, that streak there. Thank God. So all good.
And I even gave you a layup, Eric. Come on,
you did, man. But I'm still an extra, so I suffer like Izzo, the CRS, can't remember shit, and so I've forgotten all my extra.
you're an extra. You don't need to remember that no more.
I don't.
You made it. So.
I don't.
You know, guys, I got to tell you something, Todd. One of the things, and I'm starting to realize, I don't know if, and I don't want to give excuses, okay, because I have tried 2 or 3 times in reading various materials for that. And the whole thing with those is I get very frustrated and I put it in front of me. And that is a fault of mine. It's not a fault of the many methods that are out there. And there's some very good methods I have learned. But when you get to that technical stuff, I have to say, I've been playing ham radio now for over 30 years. That stuff has never come in front of me of what do I need to know and why do I need to know it. And that's why I've said these questions really, really need to be, a lot of them just need to be thrown into the garbage or archived out. And we need to get into some real questions about, safety. Concentrate more on safety. Get more into good operating practice, maybe, and other things. I feel your pain when you, especially that 9. That 9's a tough one, and the diagrams and all this other stuff.
Oh, the Smith charts and everything. Yeah.
I think that stuff comes across in front of you when you may not even realize it.
It does. You're right, Joe. I mean, like, I didn't learn Smith charts, but when I finally learned it from my extra, all of a sudden it's like I looked at it and went, "Oh, that really helps and makes sense."
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. Like, oh, I have something that actually I can apply and use. But
I rather have them
reactance arcs and resistance circles or resistance lines.
When I get my extra, I'm requesting that all new extras there needs to be a whole POTUS section because I'd ace that, no problem.
Yeah,
but you had a chance to practice that.
Okay, but how about this though? How to install an antenna at your house, or maybe how to install a vehicle, or do a temporary setup?
Videos, not test questions.
So
yeah, but why not? That
answer would be call Eric. And call when JUR.
Call a friend. What is this? Who wants to be a millionaire? We're going to call a friend right away. No, you're going to get your hands dirty. You're going to go to the pool. You're going to go to
you want to see my ham radio?
No. I love that. Dude, so I have to say, is the Live Free and Ham got another monumental milestone here? That I just saw a Gray Man Tim post something there saying that there's rumors for Randy like getting on the YouTube circuit now, where he's like, visiting other shows. Have we just started his YouTube career off from Live Free and Ham?
I would support him to do that. I would support Randy doing that. Gray Man's got a great show. That's a great show. Everybody should be supporting it. Matter of fact, Randy, if that's for you, do it. I highly recommend do it. You'll have fun over there.
So like Randy, the Clubhouse tortured Izzo and through what it brought your channel up to 1,000 people. How many subs you have?
Tell them, oh, Your Honor. Wait a minute. See, the slander is coming out again. I thought we were sharing a peace pipe, a cigar.
We are. They helped you out with pushing you over 1,000 users.
Joe Brett, there is love on the Ham Radio Club. There are nights when we don't even have a guest.
Love. I'm trying to show the same love to Randy. How many subs do you have, Randy?
So what?
How many subs do you have on your channel? Or do you have a channel, right?
Oh yeah, maybe 3, maybe.
All right, well, right there, you heard it here, folks. Let's get Randy to 100. Head on over.
We need the link.
Yeah,
but I need to make content first.
Randy, throw the link in the private chat. So,
we'll get you 100 subs. You don't even have to a single piece of content. You can put a video out there that says hello, and that'll be perfectly fine. And then hang up.
I'm putting a challenge out there to all the YouTubers. I think Randy needs to go on tour. Should be on every channel.
Yep, you heard it here.
Yeah,
I think that would be really good.
And then we'll just all follow him and subscribe him.
Yeah.
For his one video. And that's all you need to do is follow Shane's strategy. It's every 6 to 9 months he puts out a video possibly, or thinks about putting about a video. And then, it may happen. You never know. It'll be a surprise. Like Joe. I love Joe Brett's surprises. He just throws them out there and it's just like it just shows up in my feed and I go, wow, I haven't seen a video from Joe Brett in a long time.
There's that guy again.
And and when he starts to dabble into the 3D, 360 space, it really just throws my stomach in a spin. But dude, still good content.
Oh, great, man.
Wow. Wow. Man, the shade's being thrown from the chat, my friends. Oh, and once again, we are trying to be a Hammily here. I guess if you can't razz your own brothers, why not?
Well, hey, their family is hell. So.
Totally.
Some of y'all got that.
right, cool. Randy threw his link there in the private chat. If you want to grab that, Paul, and throw that in the general chat. Sweet. Cool. All right. Well, Randy, we thank you for coming on and hanging out with us, and definitely just, razzing your brother, even though he couldn't show up. I totally get it. He had a busy day, and I'm sure he's a little under the weather, maybe. Well. Yeah, that's what I heard.
He's making money to support his family, which includes Randy.
I don't think he's supporting Randy. Please, come on. Randy sounds like he makes his own money. He had to buy his own Baofeng, or Baofeng, or whatever. I'm sure he makes his own money. All right. Well, with that, I think we could beat this as a dead horse, but we should just go around here a little bit, and say our goodbyes. But Joe and Izzo, I thank you guys for coming on, kind of last minute and, being part of this fun little shenanigans, and to give, Shane a little bit of, gruff there. But we all love Shane. Shane's a great guy. He definitely does awesome stuff for both the Ham Radio Clubhouse and just, YouTube in general. So, we keep it going, Shane. We all love you, man. And we mean that from the bottom of our hearts here. So, even though we give you a hard time,
I just like to say, in all seriousness, this was fun. For those of you who didn't know, I was speaking to these guys just a couple hours ago saying, what can I do tonight? Do you want me to play the bad guy, the good guy, the judge? I'll do whatever you all want me to do. It was fun to play this part. There were the jokes were just jokes is what they were. Nothing was ever meant serious to hurt anybody. I usually don't like playing that part, but it's fun sometimes to come out of that like high school or local theater acting.
You literally performed. You went from Ted Lasso to Lead Tasso. And
I don't know who Lasso is. I don't know.
You've never seen Ted Lasso?
Oh, no, do I need to watch?
There's one scene in Ted Lasso, a very famous scene where he literally he's always a good guy, positive guy, blah, blah, blah. And then he plays the mean, pissed off coach and calls everybody, derogatory comments, so forth and so on. And they call him Lead Tasso. And, he kind of goes into character. It's kind of hilarious.
Well, like I said, I just finished watching Suits and I watched Reacher the first season. Now I'm going into season 2. I know I'm behind the times, but I don't care. But it was fun. Right. Randy, I've heard I say this very seriously. Your brother has said some very wonderful things about you, and it is an honor to also meet you. Yes, I was a little disappointed that you were not going to get my 705, but when I heard that, not the 705, the ICOM 706. Sorry. I'm not giving you my 715, brother. I love you. You ain't getting that.
You're just not worthy.
But I heard you did. You were able to participate. Solely, which I think does have some merit sometimes. Okay, and when you purchase your own stuff, and I wish you so much happy contacts, stateside, DX, whatever antenna, whatever you do. Whether if you want to be like your brother and drop it off a tailgate someday, you do that. If not, that's okay. It'll be okay. But this has been fun, and I think this is what ham radio needs more of. Fun, that when we have all these groups participating and acting and having fun, it really takes us off the pressures of the day, what's going on maybe in the world. We just need to laugh and just sit back and enjoy ourselves. And at the end of the day, it's another day. So thank you, brothers. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for coming on, Izzo.
Cool.
Always a good
only when
show
you ask me,
on.
Todd. Only when you ask me.
Well, to wrap this up, let's go around the horn real quick. Start with you, Paul, and we'll go to Randy Farrell. What's going on with you, and how can folks get in touch with you?
All right. Well, real quick, big shout out to Prep Ham Paul. He gifted 5 channel memberships to my channel. So the people that got those, Jason, KV1WSE, Greg Euler, Lucas Webster, Ham Radio Tectonics, and Cooley all got memberships to my channel. So thanks so much for that, Paul. He came in late, but he's going to catch Team Replay. I just got to say, listen, I'm having a ton of fun with all of this. There's a bunch more RV content coming out on my channel. I got a range day coming up. There's going to be skydiving coming up soon. So, I mean, a whole lot of awesome stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. So, so thanks for that. I appreciate all the support on my channel.
Yeah, and if you want to help Paul reach his skydiving, license, head over to Live Free and Ham. There's a little button up in the right-hand corner. You can help, help that cause along and get him closer to getting his Class A. So yeah, definitely head over there and check that out. And if you feel inclined to help him out, appreciate it.
Yeah, it's an expensive journey, so I appreciate every penny that everybody can give.
I guess the question keeps coming up. You jumping from Shane's balloon only if Shane allows him to.
Well, so there's a lot of jumps from here till there. Let me just tell you. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, honestly, you guys should really consider donating it because I've known Paul for a couple of years, and when I saw him walk over after his jump, I've never seen the guy smile so much in my life. Like he was like a little kid on his the best Christmas ever. He was just ecstatic. And we were there, was it a week earlier? And we waited around the clouds. They said, "Oh, it's going to clear." And it was like one little dot of blue, and it never cleared. And he was so disappointed. And then when he finally got to jump, I'm like, "Oh, we got to get this guy jumping every day."
Yeah, he had Paul, the smile.
What does it cost? Paul, just curious. What does it cost? What are your not York, but just in general? Let's say John Doe one. What are the costs?
All right. So to get the Class A is 25 jumps, and it's around $4,000
for those 25 jumps.
For those 25, once you get your Class A, the price per jump dramatically decreases, and so it's much easier then to continue progressing. But it's that first entry to barrier or barrier to entry, if you will. Right. Where it's really expensive for those first 25.
And then you also gotta buy a chute, right?
Well, that's down the road. Yeah, I mean that's like that's like 10 grand.
You're using someone else. You're going to Goodwill. You're getting a chute.
No,
I don't think anyone's donating chutes to Goodwill.
Yeah,
no, you gotta rent it
once, right?
Yeah, you gotta rent it.
Yep, that is for sure. All right, well, continuing on the rotation there, Randy, glad to have you on, and how can people get get in touch with you, and obviously, what's your next show on the circuit here?
I mean, Kids Table. I know they've been asking me. I may show up on that one. Hopefully on the Clubhouse, but we'll see.
Hopefully. He's not even sure.
We're going to hold you guys to it.
I expect you on tomorrow night. Come on.
Randy, you know how to get a hold of me, Randy. You know how to get a hold of me. I'll make it happen. Joe, and a matter of fact, Joe, Brett, and I will both make it happen one way or another.
Yeah, I'll keep poking his
Joe Brett is the voice of reason amongst us. So
and the man of the chat too. Very cool. Lots of radios when she talks about it. Yeah, that's actually a good strategy, my friend. Very good strategy.
Very good, John.
It works fine for me. All right. Well, Izzo, how can people get a hold of you if they want to reach out to you?
No, don't reach out to me because people are still subbing my channel, and I've explained why my channel has been sidelined for a while.
It is. Yep.
And it is. But people I'm getting close to 1,000. So nice. I'm gonna have to give something away when I hit 1,000.
His first live stream.
We'll do it on Clubhouse. So every Tuesday night. Tomorrow I got the day off. The rain has cleared out of here. It's gonna be a nice day tomorrow, and I plan on playing POTA. I was gonna go out to Rhode Island tomorrow, but I can't. I got some things later in the afternoon, evening. Then I got Clubhouse, but it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to find some parks here in Connecticut, and I'm just going to rock it. I'm going to rock it.
Once again, you know your schedule, and you could be ringing Paul and I up and saying, "Hey, I got the day off. Why don't we meet somewhere in the middle?" You're going to Rhode Island.
What about me?
Oh, it's okay, Todd, too, but you're in work.
What do you guys want to do tomorrow? What do you guys?
I can't do tomorrow. I got clients lined up. So,
dude, you want to go tomorrow?
Oh man, you're gonna make me bad.
No, I'm serious. You want to go tomorrow?
Listen.
He'll go.
If we can meet,
dude, I have nothing planned tomorrow. You want to go?
Yes. If you want to meet somewhere in the middle, something in the Massachusetts area that's easy, easy for us to both. If not, listen. Come later April, I have weekends off. That's
not April.
Do we want
not April
tomorrow?
So, well, I'm just saying, I'm giving you an alternative. We'll support your Parks weekend.
He's good for tomorrow, though. He's good for tomorrow.
Listen,
tomorrow.
Izzo.
Well,
let's talk.
We'll talk.
All right.
Get a hold of me. Done.
Keep your eyes on him.
We're gonna
the Grouch and Izzo.
And we're gonna make a video.
Oh no!
Oh my!
Really?
Oh yes!
That's gonna be the video. Paul's gonna be doing all the narration the whole entire time. Izzo's gonna be working the radio.
I gotta
Izzo
watch
in the wild.
I gotta watch.
Would you just look at him as he works the radio and makes contacts? It's Izzo in the wild.
No, I gotta wash and iron my ham
like
radio.
Dirty Harry just then.
my V-neck, my ham radio clubhouse V-neck. Now,
totally. Well, good. Looking forward to it. I know it will happen. If you guys happen to get a time, let me know. I might be able to break free. We'll see how it goes. All right. So with that, Joe, how can people get a hold of you? Thank you again for coming on tonight. You know, what's going on with your channel?
Not a lot in the last couple of months, but you know, I got to sit down sometime and actually, I've got some ideas. Actually, some videos to like redo, some updates. You know, because the information is a little outdated now, and they keep popping up that people are. It's your number one search videos and stuff, you know. So I probably should update it instead of just keep answering people in the comments. But
revisit.
Anyway,
yeah, I love those. Those are always tougher to do than the first time you did it.
Yeah, right.
So, all right, cool, awesome. All right, well, how about you, Todd? What's going on with you, and where can people reach out to you? You know.
Well, I'm heading out to California on Thursday. Be there for a long weekend. My brother's birthday. He's turning 50. Planning on working Huntington Beach State Park probably Friday or Sunday. Saturday's the party. But hoping to get Hawaii and Alaska on a park. So I'm going to set my my radio up in his backyard and just hope that I get a ham alert for a park.
Hey, Todd, just so you know, I saw it yesterday. Hawaii's been popping in.
I know, and I can't hear him. I tried him.
I can't hear him either, right.
I was like, oh, Hawaii, and I quickly get on and nothing. So hopefully we'll see. But I got my new computer, so I'm going to be starting to work on videos. What'd you say, Joe Brett?
I got a video might help you with that trick. You ain't always got to hear them to work them.
You don't.
Yeah.
Should watch that video,
so
Todd.
Yeah. So if you guys want to reach me, it's w1stj.nh@gmail.com or leave free and ham. And I also have
go sub Todd at w1stj.
But I don't have any videos. I got to get one on there.
Nor does Randy. So he's already got 4 subs last time I looked in the chat.
Yeah, get on there. Motivate me to do some videos. Yeah. But what I do for work, I have a lot of downtime, especially when I have to go to court. Like I could sit in a lobby of a courtroom for hours and I'm just sit there. Normally I'm studying for my extra, but now I got this laptop. I can start working and editing videos. So I
Does
should
the bailiff have to call you in saying, let's go, come on, let's go. You guys wait one more. You should be asking the bailiff these questions to help you. See?
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. It's just what I do, but now that I've got the laptop, and I've got the software on and stuff, I'm ready to go. So I'm just got to learn the software, but I'm learning it. So it's all good.
Awesome. All right. Well, I have to say with us over here at Live Free and Ham, excuse me, a little bug in my throat. We got a couple of cool videos coming up. We're going to be, we actually just released our listener episode, which actually will be aired. It's already on our Patreon site, but it'll be aired next week. And that should be a really good one. That's on POTA, soup to nuts kind of stuff. So we're looking forward to seeing that. And then we're going to dive into a little bit of the club stuff, we got a couple of really good, cool episodes around that. And, looking forward to getting all those out. But for me, we're just sitting on some videos. I got a battery build video that I, mentioned in another previous Live Free and Ham episode, but haven't finished putting together.
3.
And yeah, okay, yeah, 4 or 5. Sorry, whatever. Be realistic, I guess I should be.
I want to see that.
It's coming, man. It's coming. And then I've got a couple other videos. I finally took my beach go bag out with me to the beach yesterday and put that through its paces and learned a whole lot. And I have to go back and add and change that kit around so it actually works a little bit better than version 1.0. So I got a little revisit video on that one. So looking forward to getting that out. And obviously, hey John, Izzo, what are you smoking?
EP Carrillo's The Inch, 6x60. Nice Nicaraguan.
There you go. Cool. All right. Well, hey, I have the poor timing, like just like Izzo suffers from can't remember shit. I have poor timing in terms of the fact that I didn't realize that most people are getting let out from ham nuggets and stuff like that. So my apologies for cutting things short, and wrapping things up here. But again, I thank you guys for all hanging out and having fun. And Raz and Shane there, but it was all tongue in cheek and fun. And hopefully Shane got a laugh out of it or two. So with that, he can throw digs at us at Ham Radio Clubhouse. We're willing to accept it wholeheartely. We'll take our lashings one at a time.
I will not participate in that.
We're probably going to hear it.
No, we're going to hear it. All right.
I am waiting to, I'm waiting to get banned from the chat tomorrow. That's all I have to say. Be like, haha, I've got the power. You're gone. You're here. You're gone. You're here. You're gone.
Those dues, when you join Clubhouse, we say dues are 0. Wait till you get the bill now.
I've just now got a new invoice submitted. Hey, wait, let me check my inbox.
Now, what would be really funny is if tomorrow during Clubhouse, like I just popped into Izzo's little his ice shack, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Oh, dude, that would be awesome. You got to time that one. That would be really cool. You already hear, folks. That'll be a first. That'll be a weird one, but a first.
Yeah. Someone's knocking at my door, and I'm looking for my 9, saying, "Who are you?"
or more so, he's just removing the tent from the top, exposing the real truth, all the fake backgrounds and everything. So, all right, guys. Cool. Well, again, thank you guys for all hanging out with Live Free and Ham as always. And with that, we're going to send the go by button, and we'll catch you guys later in 7-3.
73, guys.